Today we are going to learn about Oviparous, Viviparous and Ovoviviparous. Animals are classified into three groups depends on the site of development of embryo and whether they lay eggs or give birth to young ones. So depends on the site of development of embryo, whether the development of embryo takes place inside the mother's body or outside the mother's body, and whether they lay eggs or give birth to young ones. So animals are classified into three groups depends on the site of development of embryo and whether they lay eggs or give birth to young ones. First we are going to learn about oviparous. Oviparous animals are egg-laying animals. What is oviparous animals? They are egg-laying animals. Then how the young ones are produced? The young ones hatch from eggs laid outside the mother's body. How the young ones are produced? They are hatched from the eggs laid outside the mother's body. Example, reptiles and birds. So what is oviparous? Egg-laying animals. What is oviparous? Egg-laying animals where the young ones hatch from eggs laid outside the mother's body. Example, reptiles, birds, fishes and amphibians. In reptiles and birds, their eggs are covered by hard calcareous shells, where in fishes and amphibians, the eggs are not covered by hard calcareous shells but covered by a membrane. So, oviparous are the egg-laying animals. Oviparous animals are the egg-laying animals. Second type is the viviparous, where the animals give birth to their young ones. So, what is viviparous? The animals gives birth to their young ones. Viviparity is a type of development in which the young ones are born alive after being nourished in the uterus through the placenta. So, in viviparous, the animals are producing their young ones directly from the mother's body. Young one is produced by the mother. So, here the development of the young ones takes place inside the mother's body. So, development of the young one takes place inside the mother's body and they are nourished by the food from the mother through the placenta. So, here in viviparity, where the development takes place inside the mother's body, the young one is developed inside the mother's body and they are nourished in the uterus through the placenta. Example, majority of mammals including human beings are viviparous. Third type is the ovoviviparous. You know the oviparous and viviparous. The combination of oviparous and viviparous is the ovoviviparous. It is also called as aplacental viviparity. So in viviparity or viviparous animals where the organism is getting, that is the young one inside the womb of the mother getting food from the mother through the placenta. But in ovoviviparous, there is no placental connection with the mother. There is no placental connection with the mother. Hence, it is also called as aplacental viviparity. So, in biology, something comes, if in some words, A comes before which means something absent. So, aplacental means there is no placenta. So here in ovoviviparous animals, the embryo develops inside the egg and remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. So here the embryo is developed inside the mother's body, which is again present inside the egg. Okay, so in the mother's body an egg will be present which contain an embryo. The egg contains the embryo. So here in ovoviviparous, animals, the embryo develops inside the egg and remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. This method of reproduction is similar to viviparity, but the embryos have no placental connection with the mother and receive their nourishment from the egg yolk. So in viviparous animals, they are receiving the nourishment from the mother through the placenta. Here there is no placental connection. Here there is no placental connection. Only the embryo is getting the food from the egg yolk. Here they are also giving the birth to the young ones, but inside the mother, that is inside the womb of the mother, the egg is present which have the embryo, but the embryo doesn't have any connection with the mother because they don't have the placental connection. Hence, the ovoviviparous is also called as aplacental viviparity. So, ovoviviparous animals, the embryos develops inside the egg and remains in the mother's body until they are ready to hatch. There is no placental connection with the mother. Only they are getting the nourishment from the egg yolk. So, we learned about oviparous, viviparous and ovoviviparous. Oviparous are egg-laying animals. Viviparous, they are the organism which give birth to their young ones. Ovoviviparous animals is also called as aplacental viviparity. Here also young ones are produced from the mother, but there is no placental connection between the embryo and the